much more. Coming up, the seniors have Grammys. For those of you who don't know what Grammys are, this is the opportunity for seniors to run for different categories that best fit them, such as best shoe game, best dress, most likely to be famous when they grow up, etc. Yesterday, March 11th, that's 2 days ago now. Yesterday, March 11th, we had trials for the following, no, that's yesterday. We had trials for sports with track, softball, baseball, girls soccer, and girls tennis. Today, the members of our OAA leadership team attended a conference in Bloomfield Hills. This was an amazing conference. We connected, we made dog treats, dog toys, all that. It was mainly about dogs this year. And we had a little icebreaker at the beginning called the Cup Game. I ended up coming second, and surprisingly, the only people who weren't rooting for me was my own Southfield students, because I beat all four of them. Girls bowling ranked 6th in the state, and Southfield A&T has produced 16 Division I athletes this year. Thank you all for listening to my presentation, and have a good day.
Trustees, any questions or comments for Braylon this evening? I just would like to say keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll get invited to the mock election ceremony.
Oh, of course.
Coming up next is Mantrell Goodrum from UHSA.
Good evening. For the month of March, here are the past, current, and future important events and occurrences at University Middle and High School Academy. This year's Black History Month program took place on February 28th. It was a journey that took the audience from Africa to the present day. There was a range of performances that included narrative speaking, dancing, singing, and modeling. To name a few, the Youth Drama Club recited Negro Speaks of Rivers, the band performed Feeling Good, and the choir, named Chorus, sang Every Time I Feel the Spirit. Coming up soon, UHSA is also hosting the Student Grammys. This event will show off great performances created by the high school students, as well as an award show for the seniors in certain categories. The first semester results are in for the U, and the grades are great. The U is proud to announce that 137 students achieved a GPA of 3.0 to 3.49, and 133 students achieved a GPA from 3.5 to 3.9. We are also proud to announce that 40 students have a GPA of 4.0 or above. These names of the students are proudly displayed in the main office hallway. I'd also like to say congratulations to one of our seniors, Ryan McAfee, who during fall of 2023 entered the Southfield photo contest. The winner would have their work displayed throughout the city of Southfield. Out of more than 200 contestants, Ryan was chosen in the top 25 to have her photos voted on. Out of the top 25, Ryan placed 11th. We celebrate Ryan for following her passion and succeeding in her first photo contest. For the students of the month, I would say congratulations to UMSA 7th grader Jevin Blue, who is being recognized by Miss Wilson. Jevin is a stellar student, always prepared, responsible, and punctual. The care that he puts into his writing stories is top tier. I would also like to say congratulations to UHSA 11th grader Brooklyn Hunter, who is the president of University's Audio and Visual Club. She took over the club as a junior and has been doing a fantastic job running music, microphones, and the visuals at most of the U's event this year. With Brooklyn's hard work, countless hours after school, and creativity for problem solving, the AV Club has continued to elevate the professionalism of the events at the U and to encourage other members to become confident with their AV knowledge and skills. Moving forward, school-wide activities at the U are positive and productive for students' achievement and enjoyment. Thank you all for listening and have a good week.
Trustees, any questions or comments for Mantrell? Hearing none, keep up the good work. As I always say around this time, if you need to leave to do homework, study, anything academic, feel free to leave now. If you like to stay, you are welcome to stay for the duration of the meeting. I would like to announce that As you look at our student board reps, now is the time that we will be asking for upcoming seniors, rising seniors, to apply to become student board reps. So what you would need, or your child would need, is to currently be a junior with at least a 3.0 GPA, have strong public speaking skills, be dedicated to representing the school in a positive manner, be a leader capable of working with students and adults, be involved in the school and community, and willing to attend a variety of school events, and be available to present a verbal and written comprehensive report of school activities during televised board meetings that are held on the second Tuesday of every month. To be considered, you must submit the following to your school principal by Friday, April 12th. There is an application that all building leaders will have in the office, and a letter of interest, which includes your skills, strengths, and reasons why you are interested. The deadline for these applications is Friday, April 12th, and by Monday 15th, all building leaders should get them back to JWE. We will be interviewing the first week of May and announce the new candidates during the last board meeting that our student reps will attend. So I just wanted to let the community know that in case your students are interested in becoming our next student board rep. So thank you for that. Next, we have the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Board President. Good afternoon, community. What a wonderful group. Trustees, first I'd like to begin with an update from the young scholar who came before you last month with the grade discrepancy. We thank him, and I thanked him personally for bringing that to our attention. We did have an opportunity to retrieve the files directly from the engineers at the company in which provided our online service. There were approximately 146 students having been enrolled in those classes, and of that 146 students, we did find some discrepancies with approximately 50% of the students. It did not alter everyone's grade, but the discrepancies in many cases were in the final category. If you recall, our high school grades are comprised of 45% from card marking, in this case 3, and card marking 4, and 10% of the final grade is that of the final exam. So we are in the process of manually computing all of the grades for those students, having been impacted and contacting them directly to ensure that their transcripts are corrected. But I will say that the scholar that came before us has had his transcript corrected, and it does now accurately reflect his scholastic ability. Moving on to some additional amazing scholars. These are our middle school scholars having participated in the Amazing Shake. So at this time, I see that we have our Amazing Shake building leaders here in the room, Principal Jackson, A.P. Miller, and Ms. Gwilt, who has done an amazing job with the Amazing Shake. But for those of you that have never heard of the Amazing Shake, let me tell you a little bit about what the Amazing Shake is. The Amazing Shake is a dynamic and exciting live competition that rallies leaders and role models in a school's community together to teach the students professional skills for success. So during the Amazing Shake, they go through a series of how to have proper handshakes, how to have direct eye contact, how to work the room, etc. And they are being scored by business professionals throughout our community. Our young people competed here within Southfield. Then they went on to compete at a regional level in the state of Michigan. There were over 1,100 students having competed in the state of Michigan, and we had 10 to go to the regional competition. 3 made it to the top 15, 1 made it to the top 10, and scored 8th overall. So I would like to just acknowledge them. And you will see that with the house system, you see that there are 4 different colors represented. We always say four houses, 1 family, because we are truly one family. We follow the house model. But you will notice that 3 of them have on green. And I belong to the Isabendi, House of Isabendi. But all of our board members have joined a house, and it's just a really wonderful way to build culture in the school. And Miss Morgan Hines is that student who placed 8th overall in the state. So wanted to acknowledge them and allow them to say a few words, because we are so proud of all of you.
Before you start, I think it's very important that the community understand that the building leader, Principal Sonia Jackson, made a decision to ask for grant funds, apply by herself, to go to the Ron Clark Academy and take some of her staff. This is what she brought back. So when we talk about why are some of our buildings doing some things, why are they not, it's your leadership, right? This was driven by her. And I really want to commend her, because that takes a lot of initiative to not just go, but to bring the program back and watch it grow. So this is the growth over 2 years. And I think it's quite amazing. Thank you for that initiative. Thank you for the leadership. We appreciate your building. And I'd also like to say that because of that, the Ron Clark Academy has chosen to come here every year. She sat on a panel discussing her experience with Ron Clark Academy and how it's affecting the district, but other leaders in our district have then gone on full scholarships to Atlanta to learn this same model. So we hope that this catches on and we start to see the culture change in every building, because I think the Ron Clark Academy has a really good model. So thank you all.
And Board President, 5 of our students will be traveling to Atlanta to compete in the national competition within the next 30 days.
Congratulations.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Green, Board President Bland, and the esteemed board members.
Good evening.
Thank you. Before I begin, I just ask that you excuse me because I will be reading from a paper, because I just wanted to accurately convey my thanks. So, Dr. Green, we, the Levy Learning Community, would like to express our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support and swift action in facilitating our journey to the Ron Clark Global Amazing Shake Competition in Atlanta. Your commitment to providing us with opportunities beyond the classroom inspires us to strive for excellence in all that we do. A special thank you to Dr. Green for supporting the Levy Jaguars by generously dedicating your time as a judge at our local Amazing Shake competition for 2 consecutive years. Additionally, your willingness to travel with us to Pontiac for our first regional Amazing Shake competition underscores your unwavering support for our educational endeavors. We also want to extend our sincere gratitude to Board President Bland, Trustee Joyce, and Trustee Holloway for their unwavering support and dedication to our educational endeavors. Your participation as judges during our local Amazing Shake competition has been invaluable. Your commitment to our growth and development is deeply appreciated, and we are grateful for your ongoing support. To the Southfield Public School Board, we extend our heartfelt thanks for your diligent work in advocating for our educational endeavors. Your commitment to fostering a nurturing and enriching learning environment for students across our district is truly commendable. Your support has been instrumental in shaping our academic journey and preparing us for success both now and in the future. As we embark on this exciting journey to Atlanta, we carry within us the invaluable lessons and ongoing learning experiences garnered through our participation in the Amazing Shake, guided by the exceptional mentorship of our dedicated teachers at Levy Middle School. In conclusion, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your steadfast commitment to our education and eagerly anticipate the opportunity to represent our school community with pride and distinction at the Ron Clark Global Amazing Shake Competition.
Awesome.
I'm Jennifer Gwilt. I'm a STEM teacher at Levy Middle School. I just want to say that the regional Amazing Shake that they talked about, we were one of 3 schools that started the regional. It was the first inaugural event this year. So we took that upon ourselves, Grand Rapids, Granville, and Notre Dame Middle School. And so now we're working with Ron Clark to make that a better event every year.
And I'll be very brief. Jennifer, well, is the
is.
reason
She's awesome.
that we have Ron Clark, and because when we did go to the conference, when we came back, Jennifer and Walker, my art teacher, said, we're doing this right now. So I'm only the leader that I am because I have such awesome staff members. And they keep me going all night, all weekend, with ideas of things to do. So she is much appreciated. She has made sure, that all of our staff members she registered everybody, made sure everybody's plane ticket was purchased, hotel, everything. So, well, I appreciate you. Yeah. And I just want to thank Dr. Green for getting our students to Atlanta. We could not have done it without you, finding those sponsors, and also the board for your continued support in all our endeavors, because we cannot do it with the money. I'm just gonna say that. And everything sounds good and looks pretty, but we can't do it without the support of the financial, so we appreciate you. Thank you.
I would like to thank Dr. Green and the board members that judged for us. And thank you, Ms. Holloway, for sending me so many judges. Thank you.
It's hard to get judges to dedicate
Miss-
time half a day for work, so we do appreciate that. Thank you.
Ms. Quill, can you announce all of the winners?
Sorry.
Thank you.
So our top 4 students from this year, we had 4 students from this year we're taking to Atlanta, and then we have 1 student from last year when I piloted it in my classroom. So Jaden Sampson was our winner last year.
I remember him.
And then we had the top 4, which Caden Jones and Michael White couldn't be here tonight. But in second place, we had James Cena, T-Way. And that was we took our top 4 from Levy. We didn't take it from the regional. We wanted to make sure our kids got to go. So second place was James Cena, and then in first place was Morgan Hines. Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Green, for wearing that awesome black. You look so good in black. Thank you. I appreciate you representing All Turismo. Thank you.
Isabendi.
I would like to say something to Morgan. Even though you were reading from a paper, I truly appreciate your enunciation, your articulation. You projected. Congratulations. You are everything that we want to see in a student in this district. Don't ever let anyone tell you that how you speak is not proper. You sounded amazing, and let your parents know they've done a great job.
And what we didn't mention, the regional competition went beyond that of the impromptu responses and the handshake and the eye contact. They actually had a debate on the stage. They had one-on-one interviews with a surgeon from Corewell Health. They really were put in tough situations where many adults would buckle under the pressure, and they did an outstanding job. So hats off to them, and they deserve Thank you, thank you. And while I go and ask for money for our scholars all the time, I must acknowledge our sponsors, because without the support of Huntington, the Balmer Group, and other philanthropic donors, we would not be able to do the additional things that we do. So thank you to them as well. Are any of the parents or family members from these young people in the audience? Please stand and be acknowledged.
That's Morgan Hines' mom, Christina's mom.
And board trustees, I know we have a full agenda and a packed house, but would you like the students to come up front for you to get a photo with them? Because they are all going, they are all going to be,
already.
Yeah, they're gonna be famous when
they are going
beat
to
out,
be
some
leading
Ron
our
Clark's
country
folks
in some regard.
Atlanta.
So now is your time to get a photo. Miss Cash is here. If they can come up
everyone
front,
come to the front for us?
we'll make it quick.
I don't think all of
And
us
J.
can
Don's
come
mom is in the back.
out.
Wave J. Don's
Yeah,
mom.
can we stand behind them?
Stand behind them if you all come in.
Okay.
You all come too. No, Miss Jackson, and you all come up front with the babies. Okay, continuing with our amazing students, we have our recently announced academic game champion. They are led by Mr. Hamilton Wilson, and I will allow him to come to the podium and say a few words.
Hi. Hello. I'm kind of shell-shocked right now. If you'll grant me a little bit of a starry-eyed moment. This is not the first time I have been standing here in this position. Last time I was here was about 20 years ago, when I played as a student on the Adler Academic Games team. So, and it's interesting because about a year ago, when Mr. Lake and Mr. Levine at the time came to present about updates for MacArthur, and they mentioned that, oh my gosh, we have this new academic games coach, this young guy. This is that report brought to fruition. So I just wanted to thank you all so much for that support. And if you all will grant me this as well, I know I'm asking for a lot tonight. Just give me a minute to brag on my babies. These kids, so I took 27 kids to the state tournament at the Eagle Crest Marriott in Ypsilanti. We got, all right kids, please forgive me because I'm not gonna be able to remember the whole laundry list. We got multiple division first, second, and third places for various games involving logic, mathematics, words and phonetics. We got honorable mentions in American history, so there's a game called Presidents. There's a game called Propaganda, which I always say is the parents' worst nightmare because it teaches the kids how to point out argumentative fallacies. They got an honorable mention for that. Sorry, parents, they are here. And let me take a moment to shout out my parents as well because without them, it would not be possible. I really need to go and play the lottery after I leave because I always have the best kids, the best parents. It's really something going on. So they've got all of those. They have multiple regional first places. They finished their regional Saturday tournaments once per month. They had about 6 of those this school year, and they finished at the top of their region in average and top 5 scores. They've just been rocking and rolling, and they finished the season as the 2024 Michigan League of Academic Games state champions in mathematics. In addition, we have the 2024 Michigan League of Academic Games Dwight McMurrin Outstanding Student Award right here at home in Southfield Public Schools. Out of thousands of kids in the Michigan League of Academic Games, I had the honor of nominating one of my students, Miss Sienna Henderson, for the honor. Sienna, give us a wave, sweetie. And I know we got a packed agenda, I'm sorry. And The Robert Allen Outstanding Volunteer Award 2024 for the Michigan League of Academic Games also went to Miss Chanel Miller, the parent of Sandra Miller. And it seems like these awards, because so many of them came home to Southfield, it seems like they are easy to come by. As a player who was not as good as all of these yellow shirts down here, I can let you know that it is very, very difficult to accomplish this. So here's the bragging part. How did they get there? We have 3 days of practice a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 hours of practice after school. In addition, these students are beating down my door at lunch and recess to get an extra hour and a half worth of practice for a grand total of 10 hours or more of practice per week. So it's a tremendous honor just to be you all's coach. It is an honor to be in this space after 20 years getting to celebrate my own students. And I'm just super proud of you all. I know that this is just the beginning, okay? We're gonna see a lot more from you all, and I hope we do it again next year. All right, guys, good work.
Absolutely. So if you can
Can we get your babies to stand up and line up?
line them
You
up
absolutely
here.
can.
I also understand that they have trophies on the table over there.
Yes, they
So-
do. So if you direct your attention over, come on, guys, start lining up at the front so we can take some pictures, okay? While the students are positioning themselves,
You wanna put the trophies in the middle? They can hold a few trophies.
even better.
And do me a favor, scoot all the way
The
back. so
taller,
she can get that.
taller scholars in the back.
Very good, very good.
Scoot over.
So this is going to be a minute because they have quite a bit of hardware coming from the table.
And we will wait because normally when people come to this podium, they're angry, they're upset, there's negative energy in the room, and this positivity is what we need to keep encouraging us. So we will wait, get every trophy that you have, and let these babies have their moment.
Absolutely.
Sure. I would like to ask that every parent who has a student in this group, please stand.
Parents, grandparents. Awesome. Again, outstanding accomplishment, MacArthur. Trustees, you will see this evening that Southfield Public Schools has scholars at all levels. You heard from our middle school students, our elementary students, and last but definitely not least, we have high school students here to be acknowledged tonight as well. Several of our scholars were appointed recently to that of commissions with the city. We would like to bring up first Miss Uriah Foster, I believe. There, okay,
right.
very good. All right. On January 29th, 2024, Uriah was appointed by the mayor to the Southfield Library Board. Uriah is a junior at the University High School Academy. She will serve a 1.5-year appointment on the board as a youth non-voting member. She was selected for this appointment upon the recommendation of the principal. The Southfield Library Board consists of 5 members appointed by the mayor for 3-year terms. In addition, the city treasurer serves as an ex officio treasurer. The library board is responsible for providing a wide range of library services for adults, children, seniors, students, and community organizations. Congratulations, Uriah.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, just making sure. I would like to thank numerous people for this opportunity. Number one, my mother. Hi, Mom.
Where's Mom? Stand, Mom. Stand, Mom.
She has done a lot for me and has opened a whole plethora of doors for me, and I am super grateful that she raised me to be the woman that I am today. I would also like to thank my principal for recommending me for this opportunity. I am gratefully appreciative to him and all that he has done for me as a student. He is a great principal, and he has continued to push me to do things that I usually do. I also want to thank my colleagues over there who have encouraged me as a student, but also as a person to grow. And thank you everyone for being here today, actually. Thank you for recognizing me for this opportunity. And I do truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Do the trustees have any questions for Uriah?
Trustees, are there any questions or comments for Uriah?
Uriah, if you can come back up to the podium. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're going to be doing on the board?
So on the board, I mainly just provide suggestions. I have grown up around the library. I spent a lot of time there as a child. So usually I just provide suggestions for improvements or decisions that should be made. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
I have a compliment for you. You look impeccable this evening.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very professional, the way you speak as well. Thank you so much for your representation of Southfield Public Schools, and thank you, Mom, for all of your work.
Thank you.
Trustees, would you like a photo with Uriah?
Sure. Yes, please.
You would come up front and center? You can actually go around.
Yeah, we can go around. Yes.
Absolutely. Mom, come up for the photo. Mom?
Where's her mom at? We'll let her mom go first.
We'll clear the background.
Uriah, do you want your mom in the photo with the board?
Well, we're gonna let you take a photo by yourself with your mom.
Okay.
Come on, Mom.
Mom, come back.
You
No,
didn't
Mom.
get out of it.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And while they're taking the picture, I just want to remind everyone that representation does matter in every space. Whether it's the library, Parks and Rec, or the Board of Education, representation matters. So we thank you, Uriah, and we know that you will be an outstanding addition to the Southfield Public Library Board.
Okay. Trustee Joyce, you come back. You can come around now. The floor is clear, so you come around. Your mom? Okay, also, on that same day, January 29th, Michaela Beckford was appointed by the mayor to the Southfield Parks and Recs Board. Michaela is a junior at the University High School Academy, and she too will serve a 1.5-year term. Miss Beckford,
Hello, everybody.
good evening.
How are we today? Good. How are you? We good. That's great. Um, it's really surreal to be up here. You start with like little league soccer, child basketball, middle school student council, elementary student council, high school student council, and now, when you represent like a city, it really just, you can really just take a step back and like look at yourself and just, look at it. I'd like to also thank my mother. She's over there, hiding. I actually just came here from my other job, my job at Olga's in Lathrop Village, and I was supposed to be here like at 7, but I'm working, so like I'm literally rushing, and she's like in the car. She ran inside to grab my stuff to help us move the process so that I could be here and speak to you all today. So I just really appreciate her and all my antics. She gets me. She's my other half. She's my best friend, my mother, always. And, I'd like to thank my colleagues as well, Uriah and Cedric, they're, always, there to inspire me, and, they're just really amazing people. So seeing them be the best that they can be, it really just pushes me to be the best that I can be. I'd like to thank my principal, Mr. Bogans, for appointing me, asking me to be here and speak for the Parks and Recs division. I will be also giving, advice for the child perspective, the youth perspective, so that, we can make Southfield more kid-friendly. Like, of course, we're doing very good at that, but, it's always good to see it from, a child's perspective. And I'd also like to thank myself, for believing in me. Quote, wait. This is actually, quote from Snoop Dogg. Last but not least, I'd like to thank me. I'd like to thank me for believing in me. I'd like to thank me for putting in all this hard work. I'd like to thank me for taking no days off. And I'd like to thank me for being me at all times. Thank you.
And do you have any family members here this evening? Her mom. Hey, Mom. Do you want to come up and get a photo with your baby in front? I'm not appropriately attired. Oh, you're always.
She took one with her friends, but we need to get one with her. You sure you want one, Mom? No, I'm good. Okay.
Okay,
Can
so
you come
we
back
would like
up?
to have you come back
Come
up
on.
to take a photo with the
Yeah,
board.
we need one more. I'd like to call to your attention something that the trustees and I talk about often when we have student hearings. We always say, look at the people around you and pay attention to what they're doing, because your network is your net worth. And what you just said about your friends inspiring you is going to take you far. Because if the people to your right and your left aren't doing more than you, you have a problem. You always should be attaining to get more, and I think that is the culture that we want to continue to breed in this district. So thank you for saying that, and kudos to you all for being friends, Michelle, Barack, and Kamala. We appreciate y'all.
I'm Michelle. You Kamala. Yeah, okay. I'll be first lady, Of course.
Mr. Coburn, before we acknowledge you, come get your photo, because then the trustees won't have to keep coming behind the seats. So, Mr. Coburn, as they are walking to the front, I will say that this young man was appointed by the city council to serve on the Southfield Parks and Recs Committee, and he too will serve. And it's my understanding that he will serve for 3 years. So I said, wow, he'll be out of high school and still have an appointment on the committee. Okay, the floor is yours.
First and foremost, I would like to thank my parents as well, because they always pushed me to be the best version of myself. They pushed me to be in this program called the Learning Network, where I first met Mayor Seibert, and he and Principal Bogans picked me to be a representative on City Council. Excuse me. I would like to thank them first and foremost. I would also like to thank my colleagues as well for always pushing me and things that I have to get done in order to fulfill my duties. As a member of the Total Living Commission, we'll be just overall thinking about how to improve the city of Southfield as a whole. So tomorrow's agenda would be how to improve like parks and able to attract youth members of the city of Southfield in order to make it a more vibrant place for the youth and everyone as a whole. So I'd like to thank everyone I just named, and I guess I have to thank myself too. At the end of the day, it's people around you that really make you who you are, and I'm really happy to be surrounded by such great people. Thank you.
Awesome. So Cedric, I made the mistake of saying that your appointment was to Parks and Recs, but it's Total Living Commission.
Living.
Can you tell us a little bit about that commission?
Yeah, so like I was saying, it's about like improving the city as a whole. So the agenda varies from day to day, depending on the meetings. So tomorrow's focus would be on like youth representatives within our city of Southfield. So like improving parks, or like what we can do to attract like the youth into the city. We have meetings, I believe it's the second Tuesday of every month, if I'm correct. And it will vary based on like what the agenda is for that day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And your parents that you referenced, if they are here and can stand, they're in the back of the room. Hey, their mom. All right. Outstanding. I was so excited with all the young people in the room. I skipped over one group, and I have to come back. Do the parents want a picture with their son? Oh, would you like a photo up front with your son? Mom?
Yes.
Come on up. Please do. You all have done such amazing jobs. We would be remiss if we did not afford you every opportunity to shine. And the younger brother who can look forward, and a sister. Okay, keep coming, keep coming. And this is the website. This is the website. This is what you should see when you open up our website. Look at the eye. I like it. I can see, I was getting ready to. I would also be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that Mom is one of our school psychologists here in the district.
Who's next?
Okay, it's exciting.
It is.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Next, we have a group of young people that have fought through every obstacle that came their way. We are one of the few districts that still have a swim team for our demographics, and we have struggled with our aquatic centers trustees, you know that we have been working on infrastructure for some time, but this group of young men, regardless of the obstacles that came before them, they went off-site to practice in other locations, and they came back and they broke records this year. So our boys swim team, please come to the podium. And the one young man whose name is on the agenda, Mr. Ronald Smith, thank you. He is the only senior on the team, and since they didn't have an opportunity to do a senior night because our pool was down, we wanted to make this his senior night and recognize him as the only graduating senior on our swim team. Trustees, do you want to get your photo before they go to the podium? Okay, they're not gonna come around, just gonna stand up? Okay, some of them are a little taller, so, this is, okay, for the vertically challenged ones, okay. Trustee Smith Thomas, I think you fall in my category, we need to go around, sorry. Look, come on, come on, come on. Vertically challenged ones need to come. Very good, okay. I have some of the stats, but it's always better coming from the coach.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Gentlemen, if you join your coach over at the microphone.
Yeah, just block me, that's cool. We had a rough season. We started 6 weeks late, and then throughout the season, the pool was down at various times, so we had to cancel practice and all kinds of stuff like that. But these kids persevered, and they came out, and they swam like champions at our league meet. Had some school records broken. Our captain, Tanner Harrington, broke 3 school records at the league meet. We had a freshman, Terrell. He made a final in the 200 freestyle in his very first varsity. He's never swam before. This is his very first season. We had Ron go out like a champ in the 400 freestyle relay to a standing ovation. Pretty majestic. We had Fred in his first season. Go ahead, pretty boy Fred, there you go. There you go. Had a great season. My hard-headed but loving son had a great season. We had Cornelius, who joined, who was going to swim in the league meet, but got sick right before the league meet. But next year he's going to be a beast. And then we had this young man right here, who was injured the whole season, didn't know it, and you know, he wasn't able to swim in our league meet because he was hurt. But the whole season he swam with an injury, didn't tell anybody because he didn't know. It's a warrior. So I'm proud of all these guys. Azariah Washington. So hopefully we can get some more swimmers. Next year, I'm always recruiting. I coach at Razor Aquatics. We always are looking for more swimmers. And that's pretty much it. Appreciate it.
Before we let all these young black men sit down, I want to remind people that we are not a monolith. And if there's nothing else that this night showed, it is that fact. There's diversity in your interests, in your skill, in your academia, and we appreciate it. We also need to recognize Ms. Harrington. I don't know if you all know, but she made sure to email us every meet. She asked for support. She's been an advocate, and she's a mom, and she's a PTA mom, and we want to say thank you to you because you put a lot of light on this. So thank you for your diligence and your commitment and your dedication. I'm excited to see what these young men can do. And I hope that you will continue on. I believe one of our HBCUs was one of the first HBCUs to get a national championship, so clearly you're going the right way. And we're very pleased to have you here. We appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for the coach and a comment. First, my comment. Thank you so much for sticking in with our children. And as things had gotten pretty hard, and I don't, mean to say hurdles, but when there's hurdles that need to be crossed, you stay there with our kids to bring them to the finish line. You mentioned opportunities for the swim team. Can you say a little bit more about that? When does that open? What does that look like for our community?
I'm trying to get my club team into the pool at Lathrop because we don't have a feeder program at this point. And the club I work for, Razor Aquatics, is an African American centered organization that we used to have when I was swimming 25, 30 years ago. We don't have that anymore, so it's hard to build a varsity swim team when we have nothing to build from. So if we can get a club team into the pool, that would help a lot. I don't know if we have to go through community use or whatever, but we need to do something because we can do better. We used to do better.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So I want to thank Trustee Belk and Ms. Harrington for bringing this to our attention earlier. I understand that you are in a district that is not close to Southfield at all for Razor Aquatics.
Yeah.
I went to Southfield Lathrop. We do have some hurdles with that pool, but I would like to give Dr. Green an opportunity to address the why. And the community needs to know why, because you should be home.
Absolutely. Thank you, Board President. So we, as has already been stated, have had a number of issues with that aquatic center. Unfortunately, we have not had a pool at A&T since I've been with the district. It has been offline for at least a decade or more. And with the pool at on the Lathrop campus, we've had the county come in and shut us down due to varying chlorine levels. And what we will not do is put them in a situation that is not safe for them to be in the water. So we are working diligently to make sure that we have the right people with the right equipment to ensure that the pool is safe for our scholars to swim, and we will bring you back home to where our children belong. Because one thing this night also demonstrates is that we're a family. You hear the coaches reference their own children. You see that parents are also staff members, and they also have children in the district. Southfield Public Schools is a family, and that is something you don't see in many districts. So we want to make sure that your home is the best for our scholars to be able to practice their craft.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe Mr. Harrington has something he would like to say this evening.
Good evening, Dr. Green, President Bland, and the Board of Education. I appreciate the opportunity and the acknowledgement from you all. We just wanted to, as a team, just present this card and be the first to present something to our senior, our beloved teammate, Ron. So.
And something worthy of note, Mr. Smith is not only a scholar athlete for our swim team, he was also on our championship football team, so. Our children are indeed amazing. Thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you. Continued success. Okay, moving right along, we know that we have amazing scholars, we have amazing families, and you trust us each and every day with your babies, our babies, and we have amazing staff that work very hard to ensure that our scholars are receiving the best. So without further ado, we would like to acknowledge our Employee of the Month, Miss Ashley Lockridge. Ms. Lockridge, as you make your way to the podium, let me say that She is a fourth grade teacher at Adler Elementary School. She has exemplified outstanding support and teamwork. She ensures that both students and teachers feel supported by sharing her lesson plans, teaching additional classes, and handling essential assessments with exceptional dedication. Ms. Lockridge.
Thank you. It's an honor, really it is. I want to acknowledge and thank those who are here for me, my wonderful principal, Mrs. Alma Dean, my supportive family. My husband is here, my parents, my children who are also Southfield Public School students, and two young ladies who happen to be my second grade teacher and third grade teacher, and they are now my colleagues. So thank you for all the support. It's been a great journey working for Southfield Public Schools, and I look forward to many more years here. So thank you.
We just gonna take a seat.
Yes, Principal Dean, you should be up here. I did hear that.
I have transitioned to Sandy duty.
Okay.
It's my second term.
And you mentioned
But I do think our family should.
yes, indeed, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, bring our babies up and let them get a picture. Okay. Let's go, Eagles.
Look at that true EMU.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as we know, every aspect of what we do within the school district is meaningful. From the time they board our buses in the morning to the time they get off the buses and come into the classroom and greet our instructors. And one of the most important things that they do each day is have a nutritional meal. Therefore, it is with great pride that I acknowledge the next partner of the month who has not one nomination, not two, but a record 8 nominations for Partner of the Month. That is Miss Rosetta Davis. Please come up and join the group. She's lovely.
Yes, she is. Come on up, Porsche. Principal Eubanks. I think that's so cute.
All
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
This was really a big surprise for me, and I just want to thank Ms. Eubanks and the Vandenberg staff for this opportunity. I've been working for the district for a pretty long time. When my youngest daughter went to kindergarten, I started working and I realized I could have summers off, and I stayed. So I just want to thank everyone. I appreciate it, and I love the children. Thank you so much.
Do you have any family members here with you this evening that you wish to acknowledge? Just your Southfield family. That's okay. All right. Okay, Board President. We are at, whew, we give someone else an opportunity to speak. Ms. Tracy, come up and enlighten us all on the Wayne State C2 Pipeline Partnership.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Green, Board of Education, parents, scholars, everyone that's here this evening. My coworker, Megan, and I are going to give you a little insight on the C2 Pipeline Program for Wayne State University through the College of Nursing. Okay. Is this the clicker? I might click the wrong way. This one? Yeah, got that.
All right, so included in our mission statement, WSU C2 Pipeline is a college and career readiness program. So we're an OST program that operates at Southfield High Arts and Technology. We also have partnerships with other schools in a variety of school districts. We're a federally funded grant program, and we also get money from the College of Nursing grant for our program. The program is free to all students enrolled at any of our high school sites. It's our mission to utilize hands-on project-based learning that will engage and introduce students to a wide variety of interests. So we are STEM focused. We focus on college and career readiness. We also do independent study projects. We have partnerships with a lot of organizations such as the Skilled Trades Union to expose students to opportunities that they may qualify for outside of college. And the participants are students. They learn problem solving, critical thinking, leadership, and teamwork skills during general sessions. So because we're an OST program, we run for about 3 hours after the bell rings. We provide food for the students. They get a STEM activity. We have a youth action council, so that's our version of student government for the students. They get the opportunity to represent the high school on campus at Wayne State, as well as our other grant programs, so the other high schools that we work with.
So our purpose of the Wayne State C2 Pipeline Program is vital, basically to ninth grade students taking that bridge over from 8th grade to 9th grade. So at that time, when we work bridging them together, it is that empowers them to move for more academic support coming from middle school to high school. As she said, it's college and career exposure, bridging that educational gap that the students may be lacking coming from 8th grade to 9th grade. And we do that by providing opportunities for personal and professional growth.
The students lead and they learn. Our program allows students to lead and learn. So through that, we have our Youth Action Council. They meet once a week to discuss team building. We host town hall discussions. We promote student-led activities as well as enrichments. So we had a program in the fall called Lights On After School where we advocated for other OST programs as well as our own, and why it's important to continue to have these types of programs at schools so students can have the resources outside of what they may be getting during the school day to be successful. So we're not just our own separate entity, but we collaborate with the teachers. We work with the administrative staff to make sure that we are on target and on task on behalf of our students.
I'd also like to add that our students did this PowerPoint because they wanted to show you the things that we have them learning during the time at C2. So we have a couple quotes from some students that they wanted to share with you. Gregory Stevenson is a junior right now at Southfield A&T. He is in his second year there. And last year, he was missing. Not missing, but I hadn't seen him. So I was asking, you know, where's Gregory? Where's Gregory? And I guess I got back to him, and he's still my student this year. We just had a talk today. So that's his story. Next, we have Jalea. She is a band member. She's been with us 2 years now, and she is indicating it's nothing short of an educational experience for her. And Torian Rapley, who we affectionately call nephew. He's 9th grade, scared to death. This is his story. He was nervous, and we were just talking today in an SEL activity, and his explanation of himself today was, he's very outgoing, but he couldn't explain that. So we gave him the name.
He said he was laid back.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're
Chilled.
comfortable, easy to work with, a team player,
So
leadership ability.
exactly, and that's what we strive for. So next, they want you to meet Miss Megan and myself, and this is what they put. I do love to see my students soar. I love SEL. That is the most important part of the day for me, because that brings all students together. That makes them see, or lets them see, what else they can do. Right now we're going through something called mindfulness through an Explorer program that I received from some staff at Southfield A&T, Ms. Paula Lightsey. So we use that program daily. We are right now in 21 days of mindfulness. This is Miss Megan, who is our personal trainer. As you can see, I probably need to go. So I'm gonna stay behind this podium here. She keeps our students motivated every day. They love Miss Megan. They're right now in a program called STEPS, which is personal.
Was STEM sports.
Yeah.
So we highlight basketball, baseball, football, softball, tennis, and we help them learn how to play those specific sports, but make it engaging with math activities so that is relatable. This is something that we'll be offering in our summer program. We'll have applications coming in April, but is open to rising 9th graders. So if it's any 8th graders currently at any of the middle schools, they're able to apply. It's a free program. We are collaborating with the Bridge program as well for the summer for our rising 9th graders. So that is where we'll be doing STEM sports, and we do yoga, we do fitness, health, and nutrition during the week on Thursdays as well. And yes, outside of C2, I'm a personal trainer. I have my own gym. I work with a variety of fitness organizations in the Metro Detroit area. So I love being able to work with C2 because I can spread that message with our students and also in our community.
So according to our students, they will or are inviting you to come and join us for a visit at any time. The tagline that you see there, where strong minds come to grow, is from our second-year student, Addison Spears, who incidentally just won the Wayne State University's C2 Pipeline t-shirt contest, where the students will be wearing this t-shirt during the summer camps that we will have. We will have a t-shirt for each one of you board members to thank you for keeping C2 Pipeline at Southfield A&T. You do have a swag bag. I hope you enjoy everything there. If you have any other questions, we're here. I do have handouts for anyone that is interested in the C2 Pipeline program. We will come out to the junior high schools if needed, if principals are here. Our information I have here with me, as well as the board has that. Feel free to reach out, my email, whatever you need. We'll be there to service you.
Thank you.
Trustees, any questions? Any questions for the ladies?
I do have a comment through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm gonna keep it quick. We have had parents have come to us before and ask, how do we supply resources to our kids who are in need of social emotional support? How are we helping our district when our children are falling apart and no one knows that these things are happening within their own world. We have supports. We have people who are available to help the kids. But it also comes down to uncovering some of those resources and just making the effort for our students and our children.
We will also, be bringing something to Southfield A&T called Schools to Tools. We just did a in-service for 3 hours the other day, last Thursday. I do have information on that. It is also in your folders, as well as our contact information. And if there are parents that are interested, it's basically a 18-wheeler that will come, that will teach about carpentry, millwright, and it was one more. And it's apprenticeships.
Okay.
Through that.
That's awesome.
And they're paid apprenticeships.
Wow.
For seniors that are not interested in going to a college.
Could you tell us the application window for those rising ninth graders again?
So we're gonna be taking applications basically into the fall. It's a year-round program.
Okay.
So our summer program starts the week of June 24th.
Okay.
But our first day is usually towards the end of August.
Okay.
We have applications in our office, and then if needed, we'll be able to go to each site that is interested in having the program.
Okay.
Because we are doing a bridge, but it's open to all. We have a website. If you go to Wayne State University and type in C2 Pipeline, our personal website will pop up, and the application is there. But it's
Okay.
free to every school that has a program.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, and we also have a transportation grant. So currently, we are busing our students that stay after school home.
Okay.
So if transportation is an issue, they're able to come, and they don't have to worry about it. And we feed them as well, because we have a nutrition grant.
Community, YouTube watchers, transportation is free. They feed your children. This is an opportunity. So I just wanted to make sure that they heard that from you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Ladies,
evening.
if you can get that information to Miss Alexandra Cash as well, we'll do a blast to our middle school families to ensure that they have that information.
Absolutely. Should I just email to
Yes.
her, Dr. Green? Great.
Yes, thank you.
I see. Thank you.
And that was a perfect transition and segue to our Miss Paula Lightsey, who will bring to us this evening our largest graduating class, graduating from Breathe for Change.
So, good evening, Superintendent Green and board members. Good evening. This was very delightful to be here. And while it was a struggle because I had a family emergency, but my husband said, you stay there and I'll be there. And I said, all right. And I'm an eagle, but I'm a parrot. And I don't often listen to him, but I did. So I'm here. So good evening. We do have the largest graduating class from a program called Breathe for Change. And I want to read something to you before I invite the members up. And we've been doing this program over the course of, I want to say 4 years now. I mean, I know when COVID hit, we started to think, how can we grow? How can we grow? How can we help students? How can we help ourselves? And so the lack of social emotional support for teachers is the silent crisis that we are addressing at Southfield Public Schools. SEL, which is social emotional learning, is a lifelong process that requires patience, understanding, and a toolkit equipped with strategies that extend beyond traditional teaching. You hear what I said? Beyond traditional teaching methods that we did not learn when we were in undergrad. This is where the beauty of mindfulness, which my C2 pipeline partners talked about, the beauty of mindfulness-based SEL comes into play. Mindfulness-based SEL is not a strategy. It's a proven pathway to support educators to cultivate a classroom atmosphere where students feel valued, understood, and equipped to learn. And if the adults are well, guess what? The kids are well. And so this program is really a trauma-informed program. It uses several methods. And in Southfield, we have a mission statement, something that of course we don't go over it all the time, but we do. So every program that we choose is connected to our mission statement. And our Southfield SEL mission statement is intentionally build an inclusive, safe community that supports and promotes the mental and physical well-being of its members. And that's what we are striving to do every day. We have several members here that have graduated, and I want to invite them up because I can tell you all about Breathe for Change, but it's a personal testimonial that will really, really help you understand the process and the change, the transformation that has happened for each individual, because we grow from the inside out, not from the outside in. And so if my people would please come up. And so this group, this graduating group, which happened 2 Sundays ago, included Miss Cook, Miss Holland, Miss Johnson, 2 Johnsons, Karen and Celeste, Lisa Butler, Kristen Hubble, Catherine Hamilton. But the year before that, Kathy Slate, Marquin Parks, Crystal Towns, and Brad Levitt. And the year before that, Laura Pirac and Terry Tate. And the year before that, because what did Michelle say? I'm gonna thank me first. Paula Lightsey. Because I needed to learn too. Before I put something out there, I gotta know it too. And Jill Busler. So these are the members that could be here tonight. So we're up to 15 graduates. So we're starting, we know we gotta start one person at a time. And so our champions are all out there in the district moving the SEL scale. So I'd like to invite members that are courageous enough to come to the mic and share your experience for our audience to really understand what Breathe for Change is.
And Ms. Lightsey, as they transition to the mic, it's my understanding that each member participated in over 200 hours of training to receive this certification.
And it wasn't during the school day.
No, above and beyond their work
Their
day.
sessions were on once a month on Saturdays, 6 hours on Saturday and 6 hours on Sunday. And then a host of modules. Am I right, my people? Yeah. So it's dedication. Dedication, sheer dedication, and a drive to want to improve and change. So I'd like to invite whoever would like to go first.
I'm going to go first before I get emotional. I'm going to get out here and say, first of all, board, thank you for welcoming us here. Dr. Green, thank you for attending the ceremony. Mrs. Lightsey, backstory, came in 2011 as a guest teacher for a month. I went to numerous schools. Not to say they weren't amazing, but it just didn't resonate. And I always felt like I was doing something wrong. And then this one particular day, I decided it was going to be my last day as a guest teacher. I'm like, how do these teachers do this all day? What is this, right? I come into this school, I sign in, and then as we're all huddled up as guest teachers figuring out our assignments, we hear this raspy sister voice, rasp, right? Quiet your conversations. And a beautiful morning message. a quote and something wonderful to open up the day. And then at the very end, it always ended this magical way. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. I was immediately, I gravitated to the school, this movement. I had no idea what mindfulness was. I just wanted more and more and more. I'm very grateful for that experience. And I was so intentionally intending to be a teacher, but then I would sit in with teachers and hear all the things they have to do as teachers. So I thought, I'm going to be a para. I'm going to be a TA. There's nothing easy about being a TA when you're really meant to be a teacher. And so I say that I commend all of our educators, all of our therapists, everyone involved in education, everyone who puts in their energy. I'm humbly grateful after attending my 200 year. I mean, 200, it felt like 200 years. 200 hour. It felt like 200. I broke down. And see, that's where the learning happens. Because in you learning how to quiet the mind and how to be present to others, when you're not present, guess who you get to hear? Your mess. Just a little bit more of a backstory. I am a Southfield senior Lathrop High School student, graduated in 1988, who had amazing parents, from the 40s. And I say this lovingly, that I grew up in a family that was about integrity and pride and toughness, and you don't embarrass us. And this is what I'm gonna show you if you embarrass us. And unfortunately, I don't agree with that. And I'm one of the most loving, sweet people you'll ever meet here. But I didn't realize how but when I'm triggered. So that's what this training did for me. What I am responsible for is what I bring to the table. When I see our students, they are little versions of me. They always were. And with this training, I feel like that I see them in a way where I'm not projecting what I would do on them. I'm accepting where they are. Are you okay? You know, what did you eat today? How are you feeling? Are you learning? Is there something that I can help you with in a whole different way? You know, we all of you, all of us have our families to support, our bills to pay. And it's sometimes hard. You forget that if you don't take care of you, that you're really not present. You're doing what you need to do to get to the end of the day. That does not support our students in the way that I feel they should be supported. And so when I saw the opportunity and that it would reach beyond teachers, and I knew, because I've been doing coaching and teachings in this for a minute, oh my God, a grant? Oh, I get to do this? This is exciting, I'm gonna do it. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do this. I'm still very sore because I'm not really a huge yoga person, but I'm so grateful to be centered and know that at any given moment, when I feel away, that I could step back, take a deep breath, and then step back up and be ready. And I'm so grateful for the team I had this year. Thank you, everyone who was on our team. And I know I've overdone 3 minutes. I'm so sorry. But this is an amazing program, and I feel like so many people would benefit in ways they don't even realize they would, because it really is a mirror of, oh, wow, I didn't realize that I sounded or I was being that way. And then once you disarm yourself, you can do anything. You can build anything. And I want to be a part of that positive vibe here, as always. Period. thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
In 2019, I was fortunate enough to be up here getting one of those golden apples, and one of the things that I said back then was that if you don't address the Maslows before you address the Blooms, you're not going to get to the Blooms. And I've always firmly believed that, and it was just very interesting that the synchronies of the universe work in the most mysterious ways. And I had just signed up for the third part of my Reiki certification in my personal life, and then Paula had contacted a bunch of people with this opportunity, and I couldn't believe. I was like, well, how much do I have to pay? And she's like, you don't pay anything. Like, the district's going to cover it through a grant. I'm like, wait, what? And so that was the coolest part of it for me, because you get this yoga certification, and I'm like already in the process of getting certified through the National Yoga Alliance just through my work through Breathe Through Change. You get the SEL certification, and if you do anything aside like social emotional learning, such as the Reiki, the results that you see with your student go beyond the academic, because they want to do the academic. And Ronald is one of my students, and he said that I was allowed to use him as an example. Ronald was one of the people that throughout this, I would ask him, can I try a strategy with you and your friends? Like, would you be open to this? Give me feedback. And the insight that it bred from high school students that really just want a space holder, and they want to be seen, they want to have relationships with people, they want to know they matter, they want to know that they can connect with people beyond what they are normally connecting with. And one of the things that Ronald did was he bought what's called a shadow work journal. And if you're not familiar with shadow work, it's about all the parts of you that you don't typically want to address because they're traumatic. And we're always talking about ACEs and trauma-informed instruction. When you see kids take that information because of the connection that they're making with you and be able to say, I want to work on my shadows because I don't like the way I'm putting myself in the mirror. Not only are we able to facilitate the production of these young adults who are coming into the world self-aware, but because they're self-aware, they're going to be able to set the tone for the climate when we have other students that are saying, I'm not choosing that self-awareness. And over time, we will see this movement grow that it's not going to be cool anymore to not be self-aware. It's not going to be cool anymore to be violent or mean or out of character, because they're starting to see their peers do things that adults are doing as well. So I can't say enough about this program because it's not just about the yoga. The yoga just is I'm going to show you how to take the stress out of your body. And for me personally, I'm taking it in a whole different route with my students. I'm teaching them about fascia and how traumas store in your fascia and how they store in your organs. And when students really start to see how this physiologically impacts them for generations, they want to be those curse breakers. So thank you so much, Paula, and anyone who was involved in the grant writing for this program, because not only was it impactful for my own life, but I definitely already see the difference that it's making in my students' life. My daughter, by the way, she's the best.
Hello, everyone. My name is Celeste Johnson, and I'm a teacher at Vandenberg. I teach 5th grade. I want to begin by thanking the board and thanking Dr. Green and Mrs. Lightsey for this opportunity. I'm new to the district, so I came to Southfield Public Schools in October of 2022, and it's just been wonderful. And when this program came about, actually, I know you sent out an email, and I read it over. And I had a lot of things going on, and I thought, I like it because it built on what I was already doing in the classroom. And I know this works and everything, but I thought, maybe I don't have time to do it. And then Mr. Parks came to me. And he just came to me out of nowhere, and he asked me if I saw the email. So I told him that I did. And that I was interested in it, but I didn't know if I had time. So he started telling me about it because he did the program prior. So once he started telling me about it, I got a little bit excited, and I said, okay, well, this is something that I can do. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do the program, because of Mr. Parks. So I want to thank him. And then when I did start the program, it was wonderful. Just like the ladies before me said, again, it built on everything that I already did in the classroom, because these were different things. I was already talking to my family about how your mental and your physical state affects you as a person. And we would always come up with different ideas of different things that we could do. and I would bring that to the classroom. So this kind of just built on that, and it added the extra component of yoga, which I was trying to do, but I never really, stuck to it. But I was able to learn about yoga, learn about mindfulness and meditation, and build on some of the things that I already knew will work in the classroom. So I'm excited, and I'm excited to work with Southfield Public Schools and all of our fellow graduates to implement what we learned. Because like I said, it's built on what I was doing already, and I know it works. When you feel good, and it's not just for the students, it's for the educators and the students. Because when we feel good, any challenges that come our way, we can handle it. So that child that might have just a challenging day, we can be mindful. We don't have to be here. We can come here and help bring them back. And it works. So we have to make sure that we're feeling good and we're doing everything that we need to do. And that's exactly what this program did. It gave us those tools. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, Paula. And thank you, everyone.
Hello, I'm Catherine Hamilton. I've been here a long time. I just like yoga. That's why I signed up. And I missed the email. So I do want to thank you so much because I know you made personal room for me because I did miss the email. So thank you, Ms. Lisley, for getting me in somehow. I do want to thank the board. I want to thank Dr. Green as well. Yoga really saved my life. Full transparency. I had really bad postpartum after my last son, and it was very isolating. And someone kind of introduced me to the practice of yoga, and I just started going. Didn't know what I was doing, just dived in about 9 years ago, just dived in. I did my best, and I just started to feel like myself again. I continued to practice. So when I saw the opportunity, I missed it the first time, and then I almost missed it the second time. But I'm glad I did it. I appreciate my sisters who were alongside with me, my Southfield sisters, even those who are not here. Shout out to Karen. And Celeste and I, we did our final project, but we were all there for each other. And I really enjoyed it, and I was really happy to bring it into the classroom. My students even asked me when I did my wellness workshop first, which is just deep meditation and breathing, can we do that again next week? And then when I did the yoga practices with them, they were like, can we bring them in? And so Ms. Hickman was bringing in the yoga mats for me and everything. So I'm so thankful. I'm a certified yoga teacher. I'm ready. So thank you again, Southfield Public Schools, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Terry Tate. I am in the middle school at MacArthur. Thank you for allowing me to experience this wonderful program. But I want to talk about the kids for a minute, because when you start to teach this particular program and you see them when they get stressed and they take a breath and can just be present in that moment, it is life-changing for them. Them knowing how to calm themselves down and being able to just take a moment and breathe and center themselves means everything throughout the day, because then they can pick themselves up and move forward. So for that, I thank you.
Kathy Slate, fifth grade, McIntyre. This program not only helped my students, but more importantly, it helped me. We met teachers from all over the country, and it was just remarkable how we all connected with some of the same things, and we never even met each other, even on a personal level. So it was kind of like a group therapy for teachers, if you want to say it that way, because we were able to look at different perspectives. And even though we were tackling the same things in different states, we all had different ways of handling it. So I do appreciate that. And I can't even talk about the effect it had on my kids. Last year I got yoga mats for my kids, and we did yoga right after recess, and I've never seen so many kids want to come in from recess to do yoga. I mean, they really were like, I want to do it. Are we doing yoga today? Are we doing yoga today? Like, okay, relax. We're going to do yoga today. And also the mindfulness piece of it. because I think that's important that we take care of the mental health of our students and ourselves, because they come in with all kinds of issues and traumas themselves. And it's important that we learn how to address those things. So it did help me help them. And when we did our capstone project, we did calming jars, which I knew about that from being with Paula, and just talked about how to calm your mind and what could you do to calm your mind. So I ended up doing 10 for the group that I was working with, but then I ended up having to do 10 more because the other kids was like, where's mine? I want a calm jar. So it's like, and everybody wanted to be in there with me and giving up their gym period and, wanting to do the mindfulness activities. So I found it very productive. And I do thank Ms. Lightsey and the board and Dr. Green and anyone who was involved. This program is beneficial to teachers. It's definitely benefited to teachers, and definitely if it's going to be benefit to us, it's going to benefit the kids. And that's the whole point. That's why we're here. Yes, thank you.
Top of the evening to the board and Superintendent Green. I'm Marquin Parks. I get to be the Academic Engagement and Social Emotional Learning Officer at Vandenberg. I get to work with Principal Eubanks, and Paula, and our staff. I get to come to work every day at Southfield, and I love it. What they said is what I would have said if I spoke first. It affects the kids, it affects the staff, it affects our families. It made me a better man, a better husband, a better father, and it brought back my writing. And I was able, through Paula, nudges and stuff, because she knows my hamstrings aren't good with yoga, but she said, go other ways with your talents. And so it certainly brought back my writing. And so what I do is I write positive breathing journeys. And so I'd like to take a moment to take you all on a positive breathing journey that was inspired by Breathe for Change, okay? All right. You might close your eyes. You might get comfortable. You might join me in this positive breathing journey. You are a collector's item. Find the accuracy in doing what you're supposed to do. It is the shelter in the wild. It is your protection from the strongest huffing and puffing of howling and the winds they create thereafter. Understand the difference between having the last words and having lasting words. Even the last words, checkmate, are lasting words when you have actions prior to execution. You are a real diamond. You grow better and brighter under pressure. You endure now and thrive later. You shine, preciousness. You are the results of your journey. You are a bona fide hidden value collector's item at an antique roadshow, a barn find, gold in the garbage, a needle in a haystack. Collect yourself first. Declare, protect, and ensure your own value. Grow. You are a collector's item. You might open your eyes. You might stay comfortable. You might come back from this positive breathing journey. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
One last thing, I'll be real quick. You've been sitting for a while. I thought I would teach everyone and invite you all to participate in one pose to bring energy into your body. So I invite everyone to stand up. It's an invitation. Put your feet about shoulder width apart, hands on your hips. This is called the Superman pose, but hey, we're 2024, so this is the super person pose. And hands on the hips. We're just going to lean forward a little bit. Put our heads reaching up, crown up to the sky. And this is bring energy into your building, into your body. Take some deep cleansing breaths in and out. And just hold and reach high and forward for just a few seconds. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Take one more cleansing breath in and out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lightsey, for leading the charge, leading the way, and making Southfield Public Schools the example for all other districts to follow relative to the SEL work that you're doing.
And I knew that they had to do what they did for people to really understand. Thank you.
Trustees, this has been a very rich and enlightening evening. The legislative update I did email to all of you is 4 pages in length, so if there are no burning questions, we will continue to move on with the agenda and skip over that this evening. Our bond updates, we will hear from Dan Anderson shortly with a few action items. Many of you had an opportunity to do the boardwalk at Adler Elementary. For those of you that did not, we will schedule some additional time for you to take the boardwalks, but those projects are moving as scheduled, so we are really excited about that work and sticking to our deadlines. And lastly, on the superintendent's report is that of the BUSI's director's report. So at this time, we'll ask Dr. Thompson to come to the mic.
Good evening, Board President, Superintendent, and Board Trustees. Thank you, Ms. Foster. So I'm presenting my the March 2024 report for BUSI, and this shows the February 2024 data. So the first thing I'm going to share is we had our daddy-daughter disco on February 15th. It was Thursday. It was the day after Valentine's Day. So Mrs. Maxwell and Mr. Michaud, it was a fatherhood initiative, so they facilitated the evening. It was a wonderful, wonderful evening with their fathers and their dads, and the fathers and their daughters that came out to dance, celebrate, to have fun. And so our theme was disco. So there's one of our dads with his afro and his daughter, and then there's another one. So we had lightsabers and microphones and all those things for the girls and the dads. A few more pictures. And then to the far right is one of our teachers, Jennifer Harker, all dressed up. There's Mrs. Jones. She was roller skating that evening, so in honors of the 70s. And then in the middle was one of our teachers, and then another dad with his daughter. Then on the 29th of February, we had our kindergarten showcase, and this was a fabulous event. Really thankful for the elementary school principals from Adler, Stevenson, and MacArthur, and then the K-8 principals and their teachers from Thompson and from Bernie. So they all came out. Our families were there with the kids who were transitioning from preschool and going to kindergarten. So they had an opportunity to learn about the schools. Dr. Ursula Kelly Wash, our new education manager, facilitated this event. We had people accounting there, so they talked about the enrollment, and they gave parents an opportunity to enroll their kids during the evening as well. They talked about transportation. We had our ESL person there. So it was a really rich night. We had some of our parents of our younger kids there too. So even though their children weren't going to go to kindergarten next year, they got a taste of what's available in Southfield in terms of our kindergarten and Young Fives programs. And then a few more pictures. There's Ms. Hickman presenting, and then there's Adler. They're speaking to a family. Again, it was a wonderful evening. Our families were really appreciative of being able to come out. So we have, the next step is in our enrollment. With our Early Head Start program, we have, all of our slots are filled with 16, and then we have 4 on the waiting list. For Head Start, enrollment has increased, so we have 94, and we have 34 slots still need to be filled, 31 GSRP, and 49 slots open. no drops in early Head Start, or GSRP. With the average daily attendance, it was once again lower than the 85% average, so 79% average daily attendance. And this again is related to illnesses and all of that. But we have been tracking attendance and really trying to support our families and make sure our kids can come to school when they're well. For the Child Adult Care Food Program, CACFP, for the month of February, we served 4,920 meals. I don't know where that January is there. We still have, with the IEPs, 3 students with IEPs, 1 referral, and then our compliance for Head Start is 13, and compliance with Early Head Start is 1. With education, we have the implementation of high scope curriculum. We finished our first 2 periods of data collection for core, so next board meeting I'll be able to share data with you from the beginning to the middle. With Dr. Kelly Wash, one of the things that she did when she first came in was really worked on writing, and since that's the focus of the district, she has been focusing on writing with our children as well. We started implementing Reggie's Rainbow Adventure, and that's something that our family engagement coordinator, Mrs. Sherry Jones, is facilitating. So it's a health-based curriculum, and children have an opportunity to taste different foods. Every week there's a different colored food, so they'll get fruits and vegetables, and we're partnering with our food service to provide the fruits and vegetables. And with the Reggie's Rainbow curriculum, we have activities for parents and information for parents too. So it's a collaboration between the school and parents. So again, that's our family engagement, which I just talked about. With the staffing vacancies, we have 3 teacher vacancies and 6 teacher CDA, assistant teacher vacancies. So we currently have 9 of our 13 classrooms open, and we have 1 more pending that will be open soon. We just hired a bachelor's level teacher to come in, so she'll teach the Head Start classroom, and then we have an assistant for that classroom as well. We have 1 assistant teacher and 1 lead teacher recently hired, and then 1 lead teacher in the hiring process. And upcoming events, we have our spring recess, and I forgot to put that we have the National Head Start Conference coming up April 14th through the 18th. So we'll have 2 staff members, 2 parents, and then our 2 board trustees will be joining us. So that'll be Trustee Jillian Holloway, and we're excited for you to come with us, and then Trustee Joyce as well. And that's it. Any questions?
Trustees, do you have any questions or comments for Dr. Thompson?
I just have one question as it relates to in-kind donations, and pardon me when I needed to step out if you already mentioned that. Could you give some insight about that? How are we with our in-kind donations? Are we on par with what the expectations of Head Start?
So right now we've collected about 100,000 in kind. We're partnering with grants and with finance to collect some additional dollars as well. So I'm looking at the stakeholders who are actually supporting BUSSY on a weekly, monthly basis, like finance, human resources, and things like that, accounts payable as well. So if they're, we have they attend the policy council meetings. We have a monthly operational meeting. We have like accounts payable working on the requests for proposals and things like that. So there's a lot going on that they can account for. So we're actually tracking their time as well. We will have 2 additional foster grandparents coming in. And then this time I'm not sure when the student nurses, I think once they get their clearances, we have 2 sets that are coming in. So instead of just 2 days, they'll be coming in for 4 days. So we really are being intentional about that in kind so we can collect the funds. And as we move forward to the following year, we're kind of reallocating, and we have some plans for moving forward and making sure we collect the dollars. But that's something that we've been on since the beginning, so.
Trustees, any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Thank you, Dr. Thompson.
Thank you very much.
That concludes the report of the superintendent, board president.
Thank you. Public participation. If you wish to address the board regarding a school-related issue that has not yet been resolved by school administration, please submit a comment card immediately. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. As a matter of fairness, speakers with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention any persons by name. Complaints concerning employees pursuant to Board Policy 9130 should be brought to the attention of school principals or other administrators before coming to the Board of Education. Your cooperation is appreciated. Jonathan Cobb. Mr. Cobb, would you please state your address?
25550 Grand Concourse, Southfield, Michigan.
Thank you.
Good evening, the board,
Good evening.
as well as staff and my coworkers, school bus coworkers. I just come here today. We as school bus drivers feel like we aren't as important as everyone else. We are like one of the core individuals, far as like we see the kids the first thing in the morning as well as we drop them off at night. But I'm here to talk about safety. I am a union rep for my school bus drivers as well as I train school bus drivers. Safety is the core value of what we believe in and what all my drivers that I represent are up under. So we want to talk about first the school bus parking lot, which is really not safe. It has a lot of potholes. We have had drivers, monitors have hurt themselves in the past, and this has been an ongoing issue for at least 5 or more years. I also want to bring up the drop-off over here at Southfield A&T, where parents have just dropped in the middle of the aisleway, and you know it's been near misses, and that really worries me. As a school bus driver, as an individual who had a daughter that went to the Southfield school. So I just really wanted to address that and how important that is. And we as bus drivers really care about that and really want to get that fixed before something really happens. Thank you.
Trustees, would you allow me an opportunity to respond to this? First off, we do care. I was a bus kid in Southfield. I stand outside of the parking lot of Stevenson and wave to every bus driver and make sure those cars don't impede you. And I have witnessed the parents so rudely interrupt the cadence of the bus line and have even hollered out my window, "What are you doing?" And for that, I appreciate you coming to this podium, right? Because it says a lot. As far as the parking lot is concerned, this board was not aware, although we know the potholes in many of our parking lots are astronomically huge. And so I will ask the superintendent to look into this and get some repair if it's not just our buses for your individual cars, right? Because if you got to get your car fixed, you can't come to work.
Exactly.
So I understand and I do appreciate you coming to this podium, and we will make sure we look into it. As far as Southfield A&T is concerned, I have complained. I know other trustees have witnessed this. We do have SROs. I do not know what the policing looks like, but I do know that our parking lots can be horrendous at times. But I also have watched someone almost hit a bus because they didn't stop. And with our teenagers, I think is very important because the bus seems to be a playground for them. And so I will ask that this administration look into that and contact transportation, and we will look and make sure that we fix those potholes in that area. We were not aware of it as a board.
Okay.
So I do appreciate you lifting it and bringing it to our attention.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Janae Anderson. Would you please state your address for the record, Ms. Anderson?
Good evening. My name is Janae Anderson. My address is 21145 Independence Drive, Southfield, Michigan.
Good evening.
So I'm here for like a lot of reasons. One, hi Tracy. I want you all to know you have a great employee. She worked for the district when I went to Detroit Public Schools, and she's an awesome resource. Use her. Two, the swim coach, awesome. He coached my kids Razor Aquatics, wonderful. Use him. Three, I'm really here for one, dress code. We're in March. We all talked about it last summer, and it didn't come to fruition because it wasn't time. Well, we're at that time again, so if you're gonna do it, I would encourage you all to kind of make a move. And two, at the last board meeting, there was an announcement that the MacArthur and University campuses will merge and be University K-12. It was stated that it was already in the bond proposal that we voted and approved. And because of the incident that happened in January, this is kind of was one of the takeaways from that moment. As a parent, my children are kindergarten and second. My concern is under the bond, this merger was going to happen in a new building, which meant you would have a request for proposal to have a facility layout that would adequately be able to separate the maturity of the students. Kindergartners should not be in contact with your middle and high school students. You know the problems, you see them in your expulsion hearings. We know the problems, we're the parents. I sent an email to the board president, and I sent an email to Dr. Green, but through the communications, Ms. Cash, and I never got a response. And the question was, have you made a plan for what it looks like in that facility? I understand the new facility. You're gonna have someone, you're gonna do renderings, but in that facility, what does it look like? Because we have to stop being responsive. We have to be proactive to protect our students. I can't speak for any other parent. My baby better not come home and tell me she saw something she shouldn't have seen, because I don't want to hear the I'm sorries. We need to really think about that when we merge this building, and I really wanted someone to respond and say, yes, we considered that and this is what it would look like, or we put together a team, but nobody said anything. That's all.
Trustees, may I respond? If you sent it to Ms. Cash, I did not receive it. I do have an email address. It's ashanti.bland@southfieldk12.org, and I have responded to many people in the past who have sent it directly to me. So for that, we apologize. There is a meeting tomorrow. No, Thursday. I'm sorry, y'all. I knew y'all had my back. Let me tell you, I've been thinking it was Wednesday all day. Y'all just don't know what this looks like up here. This is hectic. There is a meeting on Thursday to discuss this. I will go over 10 minutes if we started talking about it right now. But we do have that conversation that we're having with MacArthur and University at the request of the PTA. As a parent of a young 5 who had a student, and Dr. Green can speak to this because I blew her phone up. I didn't want my daughter on the bus with 8th graders. It just was a no deal for me. A 4-year-old should not have been on a bus with a 13-year-old, and so we ended up taking young 5s out of Bernie K-8. It just wasn't acceptable. So this is a conversation that we have. I think you received an email as well. So we are launching the committees so that we can get the parent feedback. I do believe, Ms. Cash, you sent an email out today, is that correct? We have asked for parents who received the email. There is a sunset to respond regarding whether or not you would like to be on the 22nd. Is the sunset to respond to us, letting us know that you accept the invitation to be on that committee, and that committee will have a very stringent agenda, right? And very explicit details about what you will be doing as far as the input you will give toward how this merger looks. So I hope that at least gives you a cadence for how we're gonna talk about it, as well as the rest of the community. I know it's a big concern. I urge everyone, if you can, log on to the virtual meeting on Thursday, 6 o'clock. I got it right. So thank you for giving me the chance to respond to that. And I will see you on Thursday at 6 o'clock. Oh, look, it's Marie Banks. Good evening, Ms. Banks. At this point, I think we can all recite your address by heart.
I know, right?
But would you please?
29506 Andover Boulevard, Farmington Hills, Michigan. And to that point, there was also another questionnaire sent to parents and the MacArthur News on Sunday and to the parents at the U for questions. So you will be getting them tomorrow to prepare for Thursday's meeting.
Oh, look at y'all. Just set me up for greatness.
Yeah, so that shouldn't have been in my 3 minutes. I was just responding. But anyway, I was here to talk about several things. The first being girls basketball. I know I always talk about basketball on Coach Q, but if you don't follow her on Twitter, which is Southfield A&T Girls Basketball, she runs her own Twitter page for sports, which most athletic departments probably have a media team to do that. You will see that 2 of our young ladies received all OAA awards this year. One, Jordan Ushery from Southfield A&T and Kristen Banks from University High School. And then we had 4 girls get honorable mentions. As you all know, the OAA is probably one of the toughest districts in the state, so to get recognized by them was really good. But I encourage you all to continue to support Ms. Cash. I don't know if she's here. There she is. I want to thank her for always, reposting our social media posts, getting people out, having people support us. I really thank you and appreciate that for us. Also, I wanted to talk about our PTA. Mr. Bogans asked us in the beginning of the school year to create a resource room, a room to bring the PTA present on school. And I'm proud to say we just finally furnished it this week from a couple of donations. And we're going to have office hours, but it's a beautiful room for us to host our executive board meetings. I encourage you all to come out next Thursday to Panera Bread for our monthly family fundraiser. It's in Lathrop Village. Lastly, I want to talk about the AP African American Studies program that we're piloting in the nation. We went to the DIA and saw the regeneration exhibit. Probably about 30 or so students from the U attended, but it's just, I encourage you all to just keep bringing innovative programs to the district, because the conversations that I'm hearing from my daughter, that some students don't even get allowed to hear in some states because they're banned from the class. So I'm just thank you, board, for just being open and paying for the teachers to go to DC and get certified to teach. And I'm still happy to be here, y'all, as we keep going through changes and keep growing and keep fighting for our kids. Tonight was a great night, and anybody that's watching online, Southfield is still the place to be.
Thank you, Ms. Banks. Ms. Banks will be the new district representative for all things positive, spokesperson. Carmen Johnson. Good evening. Would you please state your address for the record?
26632 Stanford. I didn't even put that down.
You
Stanford
did.
Drive, West. Yes, I'm a driver. I'm also a parent of 2 special needs sons that go to Kennedy. As you know, that's my union representative. These are some co-workers. My concern when he was speaking on to piggyback off of what he said about how the parents cut us off, it's not just the parents. I've had a staff member over at the high school cut me off and opened her trunk, went in to get party things out because it was someone's birthday. And when I asked her to move because I had a student who's in a wheelchair sitting outside in the cold waiting for me, she told me I had to wait. And she took her time. So it's not just parents that need to be addressed, it's also the staff that need to be addressed, and let them know that, they're no better than the parents. At this point, the kids are first. We have other safety things that's concerning as an employee when we walk out, not just in the parking lot to our cars, but just getting to the buses. It's awful in the parking lot. Some of us have stepped off the bus to almost break our ankles, fall because the potholes are just that big. The snow is not removed for us to get to the kids on time, and then they're pressuring us, what's your ETA time on arriving to pick up a student? I can't even get to the bus, let alone get to them on time. So it's a lot of safety things that need to be addressed for the drivers, because that then puts us up under a lot of pressure and stress trying to maintain the bus, watch for the people driving around us and the kids. So if we can get any help from the district, that will help us to be better drivers and get our kids transported safely without having a lot of stress. We can use the yoga medics and all the rest of it. I know it to be so because I'm a accident victim, and that's what brought me back, was a lot of that. So, seriously, it's funny, but it ain't funny. We all can use it because it will help, but we all need to be a team. We kind of feel like we're at the bottom and we get pushed like the building they moved us over to. It's not safe. We don't even have a fire exit. It's extremely small. And we're literally going through the hallway like this to punch in. If something happened, we'll trample over each other. So if the district can help us in any way, that would be great. Most definitely, that's what we need, for sure. And like I said, I'm a parent, so that's a whole nother subject, so the next board meeting, I'll be here to address that. All right.
Thank you. Have a good night. So, Dr. Green, I think, we're going to request for us to look into some of these items. Safety is a huge concern. So, thank you all for coming this evening. What's next?
Consent agenda.
Oh, consent agenda. Approval of minutes from January 30th, February 6th, February 13th, February 26th, and February 13th. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Wirdova? Yes. Myself, yes. Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway? Yes. Trustee Land?
Yes.
Trustee Belt?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. Jesus, did I do that right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. It's getting late. Report 6284, Personnel Action Report.
So moved.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussion around this? We all know that this is a more lengthy personnel action report. I did ask for our VP to send, some information to all trustees regarding it. And we do know that we had some unaffiliate movement,
Yes.
so to speak. Okay. So trustees, do you have any comments or questions regarding the personnel action report?
I do. Very loud. On the second report, so we have the two, and then we have the carryover. Number 4, not the person, but the position and similar positions to that. Within that, that group. It's number 4.
Okay.
So are we talking about the movement
The
of?
group, the group itself. So similar positions to that group. So as I continue, it may make more sense what you're
Okay.
saying. Okay. So I'm trying to be very cautious, not to, okay. All right. So the question there, as it relates to backfilling.
Okay.
My concern is that of a fiduciary responsibility as we look at the different shifts that are happening across the district. Is it at all possible that we hold off until we see where things kind of
I think I'm
fall?
with you. I think I'm
Okay.
with you.
Right, before putting,
Absolutely. So
Right.
looking at the possibility of doing some leveling before we
Yes.
do additional
yes,
acquisition.
yes,
Correct.
okay.
Did I get that right, Treasurer? Okay.
Okay, so that was just the first one I saw that was like, okay, wait a minute. Because there's a lot happening, as we know. Number one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Will be recognized before you.
Okay.
Yes.
I get it, I mean, but, man,
Decades.
yes.
Decades.
Number three, as it relates to the rest of this school year, is there a plan in place for any immediate impact?
So I had a conversation with our interim talent management chief regarding that, and another one that I know is forthcoming in a similar position. We are in talks with one of our staffing companies that will provide us with that support for the duration of this year for both of those positions. So the one that you see, and then there will be another one forthcoming.
And I'd like to, I like that, I really like that. So, and I'd like to encourage that when possible, being that we are this close to the end of the school year, where it is possible, making that kind of a plan.
Absolutely.
Just until, yeah. Wow, I mean, I could go on and on about this. I have so many circled. I will say 14, excited about that, well-deserved. Yeah.
And one thing worthy of note, these go back to the beginning of the fiscal year. So many of the unaffiliates that you see on the pages, this could be a renewal. It's to cover this fiscal year.
Yeah.
I'd also like to remind the trustees that late last year, I requested a staffing outline from all buildings, and then I provided a comprehensive list to all trustees. So our study session in April will be a comprehensive look at staffing
Okay.
to ensure that we are aligned to have a great start to next year. And what that will include is updates on master scheduling, ensuring that we have all things in place to begin the year off well and be sustainable. So I just wanted to remind you, if you do have any questions, that our study session will be surrounded with the data that we received in November to ensure that we're filling positions. A conversation about not just getting a body, but getting the right person to sit in the seat, because that is a big topic and concern for me. It's one thing to say we have someone doing the job, but is it the right someone doing the job? Sometimes having someone there is worse than having an empty. So I just wanted to make sure that we had that conversation as a board to really talk about how it aligns with our vision and our culture and our brand moving forward. So just wanted to remind you that if you want to take some of those and we have a conversation with the powers that be in April, it probably will be a good conversation to have.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.
No problem. Does anybody else have any questions or comments or concerns? Hearing none. Board Secretary, will you please call for the vote?
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ware DeVar?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried. So for our information items, we are gonna call Report 6289 up first, if you all don't have any objections to that, since that representative is here to speak to us from E-Rate Network.
Well, actually, it's Wes.
Oh,
but
hey,
it's
Wes.
88 and 89 and 90.
Oh, what did I say? I'm sorry.
No, you said
6289 and 6290. Okay, perfect. Good evening.
Dan is like, wait, why, how did you get to skip the
Sorry,
line?
Dan, I didn't even see you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How is everyone tonight?
Doing well.
Good. So I have two reports for your consideration. They're both technology projects at Adler and Stevenson. The first one before you is for fiber cabling within the building. We're adding some network closets to both buildings to accommodate the need for network throughout or internet throughout the building. We are using the E-rate program, so there are certain timelines and parameters around that. What questions do you have about this one?
I'm just glad we're getting it done.
Yeah, so, yeah, so one of the reasons that we did it this way is Adler's under construction now. Stevenson's gonna go under construction next year prior to the E-rate window opening, so that we can complete that work more timely at Stevenson than we've been able to at Adler. So this work, if approved, at Adler is gonna start very close to April 1st to make sure we get our work done, so that construction can finish up and turn the building back over. So the first one, like I said, is for some fiber work and adding some network closets to both of the buildings. Adler obviously will be done now, and then Stevenson will be done about this time next year, probably a little bit earlier.
Any, are there any questions or concerns from us? This is on your laptop. It's not in your packets. It was sent with the initial documentation. Dr. Green, are you asking that we make this, I heard April 1st, considering what today is? I don't think this is just here for information. Is this one we need, are these two we need to make actionable this evening?
If it is,
The
if the
pleasure
board
of the
would,
board?
yes, if it's the pleasure of the board, I would ask that we move those forward. Initially, we would have the fourth Wednesday, or fourth Tuesday.
Right.
Study session, but given that that's during spring break, we're asking that we can move these two up.
Trustees, you've heard the request of the superintendent to make report 6289 and 6290.
So move.
I love it. It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please call for the vote. Trustee Ware DeVar.
To be clear, this motion is for both 6289 and 6290, correct?
Yes.
Do you want me to explain
The
90?
difference?
Or do you have any questions about 90? 90 is actually recabling both buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've already demoed the cable at Adler, or the existing cable at Adler. We're gonna be putting new in, and then this project will cover the new cabling at Adler. It will also cover the demo of the existing at Stevenson and the install of new. And we are using the E-rate program, so we'll expect once approved, up to 80% back off the cost. So our cost will be about 20% of each of these projects.
Do we usually get the full 80%?
Yes,
Yeah,
we have never not.
right.
Board Secretary, if you would, please call for the vote.
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Ware Duval?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carried.
Here's your hard
Thank
hat. You can
Wes.
go start the work. But this has your name on it.
She is so proud of these with our names on them. I'm telling you, boy.
I like that.
Compliments of Barton Mallow.
Have a good night, Wes. Are we going back to bond updates, or can we start at report 6285?
6285 is fine.
Oh, Ms. Cash, 6285.
She's so excited.
So
Well
before
deserved.
she gets started, I do want to say, if you all truly knew the amount of, and this is for the community, the amount of cyber material that comes through Ms. Cash's email. For one person, it is a lot. And the help that you have provided to this district since we have obtained you as a team member has been priceless. So I think we'll all be very happy to hear what you have for us for 6285.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. I'm Dr. Green, President Bland, Ms. Foster. I'm excited to stand here and present the communications coordinator role. At the moment, I feel like I am being spread thin. I have all these different buckets, and I'm only able to put a percentage of myself in each bucket. And if I had help, it would be amazing. It would be great, and I feel like my department would be able to produce a lot more, share a lot more information, be at more events, take more photos. So this person, the communications coordinator, would assist me in creating content for the social media, website, our newsletter, assist me with our marketing, our summer marketing, our spring marketing, and just really just help me
Conduct business.
With
yes,
communication.
put everything out. With
Yes.
just communications with everything. So this role would really support me in my position and our work that we do here in the district, and really promote our scholars, our teachers, our staff, and really just show everyone what Southfield has to offer. And I'm excited to have, if the board approves, a like-minded individual with me that can bounce ideas off. And so just having someone to be able to collaborate with that's been through maybe the same courses as me, that has the same understanding as marketing, PR, communications would be awesome. Mr. Jackson is awesome, but another person would be even better. But
Love it.
yes.
From what I understand, in order for us to get this out, it needs to move from an information item to an action item.
Ma'am.
Trustees, is there a motion on the floor to make report 6285 actionable this evening?
So moved.
It's been properly moved and supported. Trustees, are there any questions around report 6285 for Ms. Cash? Yes, ma'am.
Just wondering of the impact amount and then the cost-benefit analysis.
Benefits.
So the cost analysis is the position, the highest position salary, plus the benefits as well.
I knew that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's the impact.
Mm-hmm.
That's the impact.
Yeah. Yep. That's that health insurance.
FICA and retirement.
Trustees, any other questions or concerns?
Just to be clear, you asked for this to be
Made
made actionable as the motion. Would you like that motion to be
open and
amended for
approve.
open and approved?
Yes, please.
Can you amend, Joyce?
I'm in.
No problem.
I second the amendment to open and
Thank you.
It's been properly amended to be opened and approved.
Listen,
Thank
we gotta
you
do
all.
it right.
Thank you, Board Secretary, for the parliamentarian procedures. Trustees, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Wirdawall?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway? Yes. Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Bell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Yay!
Yes. Now,
Congratulations.
I have one request, that whoever you all bring into this position, I would love them to be an innovative thinker. We need to be thinking, what's gonna be happening 10 years out, right? We need to have a laser focus. Like, I appreciate all people, but, you know, Detroit Free Press is not, you know, 2035. We need somebody looking forward. So I hope that you do find a like-minded person, and we look forward to having them on the team.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
I am assuming that report 62, 86, 87, 88, all are our friend Dan.
Dan the man, come on up. So 6286 and 6287 are out of our ESSER funds.
Yep.
Those are the pre-purchased items for the HVAC system, so that's
Got
bid
it.
pack 9 and bid pack 10. We'd like to get that equipment in the district as quickly as possible in preparation for the work that we're having done on those campuses. And you will note that bid pack 19
Is bond.
is bond dollars. Yes, ma'am.
And we would like you to use your magnificent hard hats when you come see our equipment.
We will, definitely.
Bid pack 62, 86, and 87 are actually combined, as she mentioned, they're ESSER funds. What the objective would be, as you've seen for the previous bid packs for bid pack 5 for Stevenson, we would purchase the mechanical equipment a bit early. And as you did the site walk, you saw the heating and ventilation equipment in the rooms. Those are the vertical unit vents. That's what we would be purchasing, as well as chillers for a new cooling system for both Thompson and Levy. The objective would be to purchase those as soon as this gets approved, if approved, and then get the equipment on order so we would have it on site for the future bid pack when we do the renovation for 2025.
That's awesome. Trustees, any questions around 62, 86, and 87?
The only thing that I would add to that is, given that it's out of ESSER dollars and with the lead time, we would have to not only place the order, but have receipt of those items in the district before the sunset of those grants.
I have one question. Will they be stored in the building since we're gonna get them early?
Not in the buildings in which they are
Got it.
being placed.
That's okay.
We
That's
made
what I
some
wanted to
additional
ask.
provisions of which
Okay.
we don't want to discuss.
No, I just
But
wanted,
we
you
will have them
don't wanna put
secured.
them inside of
No,
the building
they
that's
don't have
currently
the
active.
physical space,
Right.
but we have made provisions to take receipt and have
Okay.
them securely stored until utilized.
That's all I wanted to know.
It's been an ongoing conversation. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then for 6288, the MacArthur bleacher demolition.
So we've expedited that work in the grand scope of things, given that we had an inspector come out and look at the bleachers throughout our entire district, and based on the lack of safety for those bleachers, specifically the exterior bleachers, we are asking that those be demoed sooner rather than later to ensure that we don't have anyone hurt.
For clarity, exterior bleachers, could you give us?
Football field.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
Football field.
And softball and baseball
I was gonna
field.
ask, okay.
As well as an addendum to that would also be the tennis courts.
But the tennis courts are at A&T.
Correct. The tennis courts have movable bleachers that are, they need to be removed and demoed. That's included in this packet as well.
Okay. Yes, ma'am?
So 2 of the items are at the Lathrop campus.
Got
And
it.
1 is at A&T, so I just want to.
That's why I asked for the
Yes, ma'am.
clarity. Okay, got it. So to the board, I would like to ask if there is a motion on the floor to open and approve. Did I get that right?
So moved.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and supported. Are there any other questions or concerns for Dan or Dr. Green regarding these? Hearing none?
To be clear.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
86, 87, and 88.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, man.
Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Belk,
Yes.
Trustee Bland,
Yes.
Trustee Holloway,
Yes.
Trustee Joyce,
Yes.
myself, yes. Trustee Ware Duval,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, sir. Okay.
You as well. Report 6291, Card Connect main contact update.
Thank you, Board President.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is the individual responsible for making any adjustments to the card services that we have within our district. The person that is currently listed as a contact is no longer an employee of the district, and we're asking that this contract be modified to include our Director of Fiscal Services.
Oh, that's an easy one. Okay. I know you have this on here for information, but considering
Yes, ma'am.
we have the wrong person
Yes, ma'am.
listed, okay. Is there a motion to open and approve Report 6291, Card Connect main contact update?
Yes, it is. So moved.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and supported. Any other discussion surrounding Report 6291?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask or make the recommendation that instead of putting a name,
We
that
put a
was
title.
a title or a
Mhm.
position.
That's what we've been
moving
doing with the
forward.
others, and so
Okay.
if
Okay.
it's the pleasure of the
No,
board, I support
I
it.
think it's smart.
So that way we don't have to come back each time.
Okay. So this report will be amended to reflect that? Okay.
Dr. Green, will it be two individuals or not individual names?
So there's a main contact, and then we'd ask for a secondary
Okay, thank you.
in the event that the main is
Unavailable.
unavailable.
Any other discussion? Good lift. Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Ware Duval,
Yes.
myself, yes. Trustee Joyce,
Yes.
Trustee Belk,
Yes.
Trustee Bland,
Yes.
Trustee Holloway,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you all. Report 6292.
Thank you, Board President. As we continue to work to improve all of our safety measures in our district, this would be a modification of our monitoring services for all of our campuses, specifically that of the fire alarms.
I would like to request that we open and approve this evening. This is a safety issue that I would like to see us schedule and have these updates made as soon as possible. Thank you.
Support.
Thank you. Any,
Question, yeah.
yes, sir.
So who's monitoring? Who's the monitor?
We-
Southfield?
So we have two separate companies that will be monitoring,
And that's who?
National Time and Southfield Fire Department.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions or discussions? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Belk,
Yes.
Trustee Bland,
Yes.
myself, yes. Trustee Joyce,
Yes.
Trustee Ware Duval,
Yes.
Trustee Holloway,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carried. Thank you. Monthly bill disbursement and financial report. Board Treasurer, would you like to give us an update?
Sure.
Wonderful.
I actually will be meeting with Mark Ingram. It's Friday at noon so that we can go over the expenses. And I am excited to learn more about the finances behind the scenes and ask him a whole bunch of questions and make him uncomfortable.
I wasn't expecting that part. Well, thank you, Board Treasurer, and we will have your full report at our next meeting. I have one thing to add. Trustees, as you all know, we will be embarking on New Orleans very soon in April. And considering that many of us will be getting back late Sunday evening and Monday, our board meeting is scheduled to be the next day, which I know many of you will be going back to work that day. And that is a heavy lift after attending workshops and sessions for roughly 10 to 12 hours all weekend. So what I am asking is that we take a vote and someone make a motion for us to move our regular board meeting to the Wednesday, April 10th. I just don't want to tax our bodies and our minds. Traveling can sometimes be hectic and you never know what may happen. So I prefer to just move our meeting out one day if it is the wish of the board.
I motion that we move our regularly scheduled meeting April 9th to Wednesday, April 10th, 2024.
Thank you.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Is there any other discussion? We would like to keep it steady at 7 o'clock, just for clarity and for the record. Any other discussion, trustees? Hearing none. Board Secretary, please call for the vote.
Trustee Belk?
Yes.
Trustee Bland?
Yes.
Trustee Holloway?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Trustee Wardawal?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Motion carried. Thank you so much. So our next regular board meeting will take place on Wednesday, April 9th, 2024 at
You said Wednesday, April 9th.
Oh, Lord, Wednesday, April 10th. The 10th, Wednesday, the 10th, the day after the 9th, at 7 p.m. That will be our regular board meeting. Trustees, does anybody have anything for the good of the order?
Through the chair.
Yep, you can go first.
I just got a couple of things I wanted to share with our community. Tomorrow, we do have a scheduled off day for students. It is Professional Development Day. I want to make sure parents know that. I also wanted to bring up our parent handbook. We are going to be working on our parent handbook to make sure that we can get it distributed and it is applicable to our scholars as they are in our buildings. It is important that our parents partner with us. So we want to make sure that our parents understand our expectations, as most of our parents explain their expectations and what we need to be doing for our scholars. So we're going to be working on some strategic things behind the scenes here to make sure that we put it in everyone's hand. And we'll need you all to read it and review it. If you have questions, we're going to set up some things that you can ask those questions. The last thing I have is sometimes it appears that, there's not a lot of conversation or input going on from our board, but we do have the documents in advance, and we're given opportunities to talk with our board president, Dr. Green, and other resources of information that we have. So I just wanted to lift that to the public, that we have opportunities to ask before our actual meetings to make sure that we have clarity on what we're doing with the business of the district. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to lift, I know we have discussed this in the past, just about exit interviews in our district, and I would like to know, or maybe we can get something later in the future, just if we're conducting those or how those are being handled with staff that's leaving.
So I have a couple of things. The first one is that, and I have spoken about it before, but this board has adopted a new version of Policy 8400. Policy 8400 is school safety information. Because the times have changed, we have amended our policy to reflect a more detailed and conducive approach to ensuring that when safety issues arise in the district, that they're handled proficiently and that we do not have to be reactive anymore. And so that policy should be up within the next month. We have sent it to Board Book, and they will publish it for all to see. We also would like to lift that we are taking a look and deep diving into multiple policies, which include harassment, bullying, just to name a few. And if the community wants to make themselves well-versed in those, I would suggest it, considering it is how we govern this body. It also has a lot of the basis for our student code of conduct. So I just wanted to make everyone aware, and that you sign off on that student code of conduct, by the way, when you register your children. It's on a piece of paper, and I think people forget about that because some of you register in kindergarten. So you don't think about it because you don't have to re-sign it every year. But I would like for this community to get reacclimated with that student code of conduct, and we will keep you aware of any changes that we make to policy in the future. Lastly, as I stated before, Thursday, PTA meeting discussing the unification of MacArthur and the U. Did I miss anything? Tomorrow, no school. You already said that. Trustee Smith-Thomas.
The summer learning manual, which I am just always so excited to see. So, yeah, she was here. I wanted to shout her out, but she did leave. So for the families, please keep watch of that. Important deadlines. You have family field trips, registration, credit recovery, different camps, reading lists. It is 64 pages, and I just really get super excited about that. So wanted to make sure the families knew to look out for that. It should have gone out. It went out to all families.
It went out
today. Okay. Yep. And that's also why it's so important, and I always say this, especially around this time, it's so important that if any of your communication or contact information has changed, please update it. Please update it because spring break, summer break, you know, so much information goes out in preparation for the upcoming school year, and you don't want to miss it. So, and we rely heavily on that information, contact information being current and correct, so that you can get all the information needed for your scholar and for your family.
Thank you for that. Oh, Dr. Green, your turn. Oh, I'm sorry, Trustee Joyce, go right ahead.
Just out of curiosity, when do we improve on the HVAC and air conditioning systems for this building, JWE?
This building is
Well,
last.
unfortunately,
Just wanna
Trustee
know-
Joyce, we go last
This
for
building is
everything
last. We go
here.
last. Okay.
Yes, and I will say that the roof of this building is so soft in some spaces. The construction team said they didn't want to drop in literally on the superintendent because the roof is that soft
Right.
in that area of the
Okay.
building. So
Thank you.
we put our scholars first unless it's an emergency situation. We've had to do some mitigation along the way, but we will be the last building. I did wish to share with the trustees in the community that earlier today, I was asked to co-author an opt-ed piece on school safety funding from the state and the request from superintendents to continue funding school districts, grant dollars to continue that effort to improve our safety. So you will see that come out soon.
Okie dokie, what's the publication?
Not at liberty to disclose yet, but I will forward it to everyone once it's released.
So you just told us and not
I
gonna
told
tell
you
us
that,
where
I
to go
told you
look
that I
at
did it, and once it's published, I'll tell you
This is the
exactly where to
teaser?
find it. It is.
This was the trailer, everyone.
It was the
This was the
trailer.
teaser
We will
trailer.
send it out to everyone once it's,
Wonderful.
but it was an honor to be asked.
We are proud.
Proud to serve.
Future meetings. Spring recess. Yay! Oh, by the way, young people, Miami has told everyone, do not come here. So for all of you high school seniors planning to embark to that state called Florida, please don't. That's a public service announcement. Do not go down to Miami for spring break. We know Florida has a different way of looking at things at this point in history, so please be cognizant of where you're welcome and where you aren't. Spring recess, March 25th through March 29th. Tuesday, April 2nd, we will have our special board meeting study session. Wednesday, April 10th, we will have our regular meeting, and then Tuesday, April 23rd, special board meeting study session. We are adjourned at 9:53. Thank you all for being here.